Good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Safe Space Between Us. I'm your host, Kieran, and we've got the lovely team here today, Patricia, Kari, and Lee. Welcome you. Kari, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I had a bit of a stressful week. Sadly, one of my friends passed away, so it was a little bit upsetting. But yeah, that was earlier in the week. But yeah, but
I'm
other than
really
that, it was.
sorry. Really
Thank you,
sorry to
thank
hear that.
you. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but other than that, I've been fine. Just been working as usual, hard
Um,
at it.
uh,
So
and before, sorry, Patricia, before I come to I'm working, I'm partying. Wasn't we partying the other nights? You're
that was a
allowed to.
Friday
You're allowed to.
evening.
You're allowed to. You're
I
allowed
wasn't partying while at work.
to. Patricia, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Have a busy week, as per usual, but keep going.
Good. I know you've had a lot of stuff going on as well, but you know we're here for you as well. Much love. Lee, how are you, mate? I know we saw each
Yeah,
other the other day. We see
yeah.
each other for the second time the other day. And nice seeing your missus. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a bit of a chaotic start to last week, but as the week's gone on, it's calmed down a bit, so all good at the moment.
Wicked, and you know we're always here for you, bruv, as well. Much love. And hope all the members are well, everyone's well. Here in the UK, it's been a bit of miserable weather today, but we don't let it be our what's that word? Our positivity. We don't let us be. My week this
Who is the
week.
one drinking?
My week this week. We got there. We're getting there. We're moving soon, so it's been a bit like depressing, stressful. Just still getting got over Emma having a miscarriage, but it's still obviously you think about it now and again. And having the kids here 24/7, apart from letting the twins do my makeup every day and that. Yeah, it's all good in the hood. The only one thing before we start topic is I'm really upset this week. The one thing I'm really upset about is it me or is the media trying to scare us with alien stuff now and
Oh,
COVID stuff still and all other stuff? Like I'm just thinking, give it a rest. Like I've been hearing aliens. I already knew there was aliens. Like leave me alone. I'm an alien.
I don't think
the
it's the only thing we need to
politicians,
worry about, is it? It's
yeah,
the
the,
humans we
poli-
need to worry about.
the politicians have gone on holiday, so they just need to make up some news now, don't they? So,
Oh, mate, it's just like, leave us alone. Stop scaremongering us. And obviously, we know COVID, what happened and stuff. Like, yeah, okay, just stop talking about it. Leave us alone, innit? And that's the only thing. Every time Emma, my missus, she makes a comment because I mumble under my breath all the time. A lot of swear words when the news is on. She goes, "Who are you swearing at now?" I'm like, the bloody news. Like, shut up, turn it off. Like, I don't know. I've got anger issues against the news. But anyway, it's not about that. Today we've got two great topics today. The first one we're going to pass on to Kari, which is about body dysmorphic disorder, with eating disorder and stuff like that. But before we do on that topic, we're going to play a little video which is copied from a worldwide advert. But I just think it's a bigger understanding for members and us to have an understanding of what it is. So here it is.
Emma, sit down and I will read you a book.
You are so beautiful to me.
Good job, Mary.
You are so beautiful.
Hello for Mary and Addie's comedy show.
To me. Can't you see, dear Mary? Everything I hoped for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful.
You want a small waist this summer when your favorite product is here. Alright, that's it. Come on.
To me. Can't you see? Everything I hope
thigh gaps are in.
You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for, everything I need.
Wow.
That video gets me all the time. I think it's relevant to play that video just so before we start talking about the topic. But yeah, over to you, Kari.
Yeah, I wish you'd tell me you were playing that one. I cried my eyes out when I first saw that one. I thought, how emotional was that? It just brings it home, doesn't it? Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about it really because I think even in my own life, I sort of sometimes go past the mirror and I'm like, oh God, I was like, when did I look like that? So I think people in general always are very critical of their own bodies and how they look and all of that sort of stuff. So I just thought it'd be quite nice to talk about it, just to kind of open up the channels of speaking about that kind of thing, really, because I can imagine it is probably quite common. But obviously it's something as well that isn't just with women. I think a lot of people associate it with being female based, but I think actually statistic wise, I don't think there's a lot of difference in it.
No, they're right.
So men suffer with it too. And yeah, so obviously it's a mental health issue, and they say that it's linked to OCD as well. So that was quite surprising to me. I didn't sort of think of it like that really, but I guess they're all related in some way. And I think there's two types of body dysmorphia as well. I'm not sure if I can remember how it is now. I think one was a muscle one. Oh, there we go. Muscle dysmorphia and body dysmorphia. Oh God, I can't even think. It says BDD there. I forgot what the last D means. But basically, there are two types. So the subtypes, and they respond to the same basic treatment. Like CBT and medication is often given as a way to treat that kind of thing. And I think it just affects their day-to-day life. So they're constantly thinking about it. They can't concentrate on everyday stuff because they're constantly worried about their appearance. And I think it can lead on to things like hurting yourself as well. I noticed that there was a link when I was researching it earlier. It could be pinching themselves or biting themselves and stuff like that as well. So there's a lot of different kind of things associated with it. But yeah, I just wanted to open it up really and just sort of see what you guys thought of it. I know obviously I haven't got that, but I am very critical sometimes about how I look. And I think especially in today's day and age with the media and social media especially, that everybody's putting filters on and doing all that and making themselves look beautiful, and hiding all their imperfections and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, imperfections are what makes us unique, aren't they? So it's a shame that everybody really seems to feel that they need to erase every freckle or a spot or make their waist look slimmer and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think like obviously research I've done as well, like it affects from ages from as young as 12 to 13 a lot as well, and that is just, I think that comes down to social media a lot. These so-called influencers, where they filter a lot and stuff. Our kids and this generation don't understand that that's not real. It's not actually that real person, and even if it is real, it's taken a lot of treatment and stuff like that, or it's just natural beauty. With me personally, I have it now and again where I look at my belly and think, like I do get paranoid, and jokes aside, I do get a bit upset about it and stuff and think, wish I could do that. But then something kicks in me and says, you know what, who am I going, who am I out there to look good to? As long as I feel okay, and my family, what's the difference? But I think it's like they say, it's a mental thing. But my worry and scary thing is that video you're seeing young girls, boys, and I know adults have got it as well. So my heart goes to everyone. But it's the kids of this generation where they're seeing so much on media, social media, where they feel, I want to look like that, and then, oh, well, I'm going to eat that diet. I'm going to eat this. I'm not going to eat for 3 days. I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to have I don't know, chocolate bar for the whole day and stuff like that. Like, for me, and I know it's all good me saying this, I just think we're all beautiful and this is not me fucking about, we're all beautiful in our own way. There's someone out there for us, for all of us. And if for example, if I don't find, like, everyone on this screen is beautiful in our own way, and there's someone out there for all of us. And if someone wants to make nasty comments, and I think it's those comments, it's the stigma of people saying, I've got 6-pack, Kieran, you've got a beer pack, or whatever, yeah, or I've got bigger boobs than you, or my boobs, your belly's coming out your top, you shouldn't be saying that, and stuff like that. Those comments will make people start doing these things and that, and it's just, it's a really sad topic to talk about, especially watching that video. But my comment, I don't know much about it, and I will get information out there for everyone and contact numbers. But my answer is, you're all beautiful inside out, and you should just be happy of who we are. We all have a unique talent, power to find. It's just for us to believe what we're here for, and there's always someone who's going to appreciate how we look. That's the way I look at it. Sorry for waffling on, but yeah, next person.
The thing is, for all of the men and women that I have worked with the domestic abuse hat on, that happens a lot as well. And that happened to me as well, because when you are with a partner that keeps bringing you down all the time, then when you break up that relationship, that crap is still in your brain. Because now, I mean, with the medication I got or whatever, it's no chance in hell that I can come back to be as I say, like I used to be. But it's still looking myself in the mirror and thinking, you look like shit. He was right. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people that, because they have heard for so many years saying that, it's engraved on the head. So then you see the news and you see these women in these bikinis that it's not real, because they eat one almond a day. Because I read yesterday when you were going to speak about, I read about that Gigi Hadid, that she eats 1 almond a day. 1 almond a day, and this is on the news. The kids are seeing it. The kids are following her, and you think, 1 second, this is not normal. Someone being allowed to say, I eat 1 almond a day and look how I am, that shouldn't be allowed?
No. And again, I think that person, Jihid, I forgot her name, but I know who you're talking about. She needs support and help people around her. But unfortunately, the industry she's in, I think they think it's all about what you look like, which is sad, and which I try and tell my daughters, especially because they see this, and just try and encourage them eating, like, you got to eat as well. Sorry, Kari.
No, I was just going to say, like, even, obviously in magazines and things like that, obviously people see it and think, oh God, they've got no cellulite, they're perfect, and obviously that just isn't true. It all gets airbrushed everywhere. I think the media are starting to change that a little bit. There's been quite a few sort of adverts and things like that where they seem to be bringing in other sizes and all of that sort of stuff, which is a positive step. But yeah, so what about you, Lee? What do you think of it all?
Yeah, I sort of agree with what Kieran's saying. So I was bullied quite a lot because I was a bigger size when I was a kid at primary school, and that it still affects me now. I used to make a joke out of it in front of everyone, but then at home and stuff, I wouldn't. So when someone brings up about my weight now, it's still inside my head. It still really affects me. And even like, it was my daughter's birthday last Sunday. We went bowling. So I said to my wife, I'll take a picture. Because it was a long picture and you could see my belly, I was like, no, take it from the waist up if we're going to post it. And I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, no, we're celebrating a birthday. Why am I worrying about which way the camera is to? But I just don't like my belly in my head. I've got a massive belly. I know, obviously, I'm big boned, but it's a lot bigger in my head than what people say it is, and it really does play on me when taking photos. So I don't put all the filters and that on, but I'm very conscious about a lot of my pictures will be from above the belly up high because I'm very conscious about my belly being in photographs, and that's just I think goes back to the way people made me feel when I was younger.
I hate that. Sorry you went through that brilliantly. I hate that. And I just want to say, like, I'm not just saying it because these are my friends and all you members as well. And I keep saying this: we're all beautiful. To me, that these guys are beautiful. That not just because the looks, but inside. And someone just put a comment: we are who we are. If people don't like us on the outside, they don't deserve the loving heart inside. And I totally love that comment. That was from Steve Daniels, new member. So thank you for that comment. That is really true. And if people, this is the way we've got to see things. If people don't like what we look like, they don't deserve your loving heart. And you should be proud and love who you are. Yes, we can make small changes by how we have our hairstyle or whatever, but be happy who you are. Look, I ain't the greatest looking person, but I'm happy. And there's a few comments to add on this as well. The people have commented, and I just want to go through them. Is that all right, Kari?
Yeah, cool.
About this discussion. So someone's put, I can hear myself, someone as well. If we turn the volume down, background noise. I have eating disorders. It's not me. Yeah, so I can hear myself talking. Anyway, I have an eating disorder. I don't eat breakfast or lunch and only a kiddie small portion of dinner. Who's that?
Lisa,
I think we're going to arrange a video chat with you over the next day or two. Anyway, in we Patricia. So if that's something else you need support and help with, we'll try and direct you in the right place. But anyone with this kind of disorder, we will tonight put some emergency contact numbers in the country you are, UK, America, Australia, Portugal, France, across Europe and the world. I'll get the correct information and post up for you all. But yeah, Lisa, don't you eat breakfast? For me, breakfast is an important. I don't eat much breakfast, but I realise when I eat breakfast, it's very important because when I feel more refreshing, feel better in my day when I've had something little in breakfast. Like mine's like Weetabix. I like Weetabix. But I just think having something is am I right, guys? Eating something in the morning, good for you. Yeah.
The best meal, isn't it, to have is the morning one. I'm quite good like that. I always have mine.
Estás the metabolism working, because if you don't eat nothing in the morning, your metabolism stays dormant. So then the longer that it takes, the less that you are burning. So actually not eating is the equivalent of burning less calories. So it's better to have 3 meals a day because like that your body is always working.
Yeah. No, I get that. And there's another one. I hate my body. It's changed beyond recognition since menopause. Who's that, Patricia?
That was what's it called? What's it called? I saw it before. Linda Martin.
Linda, I've actually met you. And again, I think you're a lovely person. You're really kind, beautiful inside and out. So be very proud of yourself. And I know it's just words, but this is coming from someone who's just only met you once. I think you're a brilliant person, beautiful inside out. So be very proud of yourself. And regarding menopause and stuff like that, I've got some information that I can also send you over that might help, and some useful tools as well. But seriously, from me, and I'm sure the team will say the same because they've spoke to you over the group as well. But I've met you, and I think you're beautiful inside and out. So just be proud of who you are. We are who we are. Yeah, we said that one. Be proud of you, Lee. Who said that? Be proud of
Lisa.
how you are, Lee. Thank you, Lisa. And there's another long one. Who's this last one, Patricia? Lauren, again, this is all down to social media and the industry as they set a really disturbing aura of what people, young or old, should be looking like. It gives people bad thoughts. oh, and I should do this and do that to look like this or that. But really, deep down, it's all fake. Everyone should love and be comfortable in their own skins. People's confidence gets knocked so much due to this, and everyone is beautiful in their own unique ways. Spot on, spot on. Who did we say that was?
Oh God, man. Lauren.
Lauren, yeah, spot on, Lauren, and I appreciate it, and I agree. Like, we're in our own unique ways, and it only, guys, I'm not just saying this. It's took me. I'm 30. How old am I? 34. It's took me 34 years this year to realise I'm here for a reason. Yeah. Stop dwelling over my past, and I know it's hard. I still have those bad days. It's just finding those tools and having this safe space and people to talk to. But I've realised now. I have a uniqueness to give to others, and we all have it. If I can find it, and I'm not the smartest person on the planet, and I mean that, you all can. So, and be proud of who you are. And I think that is a great comment to have on that topic as well. There's a few more, but I'll just end it with you, Kari. Anything else to add?
Yeah, no, just how common it is, really. I mean, how many times do we go for our photos and, like, if we're going to put them on social media or something, and you're like, no, get rid of that one goes. You vet them, don't you? Rather than just enjoying the fact that you've been out and you've done something nice and you want to share it. We're so critical, and I think as much as we all have been critical of somebody in their in our lifetime, we all have. We'd be lying if we said we haven't. But I think the worst critics are actually ourselves, I think, deep down. So we've all got to be kind to ourselves, and, as you say, love who we are and be unique in our own little way. Definitely.
But it's like, you know when I had the accident 2 weeks ago, yeah, when the ambulance came, I was more worried about the space that I was going to be taking in the ambulance than actually all of my injuries. And I was making a joke about, oh yeah, well, I'm padded and blah blah blah, and I was joking about that when actually I was in excruciating pain. And then I realized what I was doing, and I'm like, this is so silly.
The thing is, though, Patricia, I think we've all done that, though, just to try and fit in or trying to get on with someone. And it's like Bernadette just said, hey guys, I had to learn to love my body, especially I having kids. Women are so beautiful and powerful, only if we all believed it. And that's what I'm saying as well. Also, I know it's not just about having babies as well. It's just in a normal day in life. Your child has these disorders, but after having a baby, I'm sure women look at themselves and think, oh, I've still got my baby belly and stuff like that. So, I've said it to Emma before. It's like, yeah, and what? Like, it doesn't matter. But we've all been there. We've all said bad things about someone. I've probably made plenty of comments about what people look. And the current comment I probably have a lot about is Sam Smith at the moment. But I just think, wear what you want, but don't put it in my kid's face. That's the only thing I don't like. But that's the only thing I don't like. Like, wear what you want, but don't put it in my kid's face. But I just think, again, we're all beautiful inside out, and I think you should all be proud of who we are. And you three, I'm proud of yous, and I think you all three are beautiful. And we end it on that quote on that topic. Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Right, next topic, which we could be here for a few hours to talk about, so I'm going to start on that. Would you like to say the word, Patricia? What's the next topic before I play the video?
Is fibromyalgia and mental health.
Okay, and I'm just going to play the first minute and a half of this video so people get an understanding what it is and how young people can suffer from it.
I was so scared of being called crazy, and I was so scared that this was all in my head the whole time. And I think when I got the diagnosis, that was such a relief, because it was finally, proof that I wasn't making this all up.
Hi, my name is Belle, and I was diagnosed with a condition called fibromyalgia in 2017. So fibromyalgia is a misunderstood condition. I didn't know what it was until I was told that I had it. It's thought to be caused by the brain not being able to process pain signals correctly. I was a junior in high school. Because I was a junior and that's when you take your SATs, I think I was taking 5 AP classes. I, thought it was just stress and
That's what my parents said when I came to them saying, hey, I have all this body pain, I don't know what this is. The way that manifests for me is I get a lot of random stabs of pain in different pressure points in my body, like my shoulders, my limbs, my fingers, and I'll get full body kind of aches as well. And sometimes I'll wake up feeling so fatigued after, sleeping for a normal amount of time. So I went on Zoloft, which was awful. It didn't help me at all. It actually made me more anxious. I was dating somebody who suggested that the Zoloft wasn't working for me. I hadn't seen my doctor in maybe 6 months, and I think at this point he was like, wow, this has been going on a really long time. And so he tested my tender points, which are just kind of parts of your body that are sensitive, usually if you have fibromyalgia. And he told me that he had suspected it, but he hadn't wanted to tell me because, he wasn't sure since I was so young. And fibromyalgia is usually diagnosed in middle-aged people, particularly women. I live with this condition daily. I take
Send it on there because obviously I can't recommend medication and that, and she starts talking about certain medication, so it's not for me to say what's right or wrong. But Patricia, this is your topic, as you unfortunately suffer with this as well. So over to you.
Well, as some of you may or may not, I suffered with this since I was 12, and my son started when he was 11. But my son, for example, is getting worse much more rapidly than what I did. I started to get worse when I was 29, 30. I was always in a lot of pain, but it was almost like manageable. By the time I was 29, 30, it just went off but my son is quite bad as well. And the thing is just what people doesn't understand is fibromyalgia is not that the pain, is the other conditions that comes with, because you could have headaches for weeks. So if you go to the doctor with a headache, they will say, oh, it's the fibromyalgia. They will not think you can have something else. It's the fibromyalgia. You can have IBS. You can have problems with your smell, your hearing, your eyes. It's like it can't go to any part of the body because your brain doesn't send the right signals to the rest of your body. So if it gets confused today, you are trying to do something and your brain will not want to react, and you will have almost like if you are having marshmallows on your head and you cannot think. It's like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, and for much coffee that you drink, it doesn't go. You just have to forget about that day and move to the next day, But the problem that it is that because there is no cure and you don't know when you are going to be in pain or not, you cannot work with it. Because if it is something that you have the same every day, then you can work around it. But when you start having it, you could be 2 weeks not having no pain, then you have a flare-up of a week, then you don't have nothing for a couple of months, then you have a flare-up. So it's like, how do you handle that? But on the other hand, it's like me now, I'm in pain all the time. It's just the degrees of pain. So I have to pace myself and see what I do or what I don't do. There is days that if I do a lot during the day, don't ask me to do nothing in the evening because I won't be able to do it. So if I got 3 really busy days, I have to make sure that I got one day when I'm going to be able to rest, because otherwise, that's it. I'm done. I mean, I do have a great support system and a great people around me. I mean, my son, even with his pain, he's an angel, because he is always there supporting me or what have you. But it comes down to when you are 35, 36, who the hell is going to want me with this? Who is going to love me with this? Who is going to be, you know what I mean? and you start
We want you. We love you. Just saying.
but you start to think that way. So it goes, your brain plays games on you because you are in constant pain. You don't think that you are worthy. Then they put you on medication that makes you put on weight. So the person that you were is gone.
How does it, just quick one? Sorry, Patricia. How does this like, obviously, can you just wake up with this? Like, obviously, this is a new topic for me. Can you wake up to this? And it does stress and anxiety cause this as well? Or?
Well, I have done a lot of research on it. Once that my son started to have it, I had to, do more research. But the more of the consultants say that trauma is the biggest thing for it. You go through something really traumatic, with my son and I have been.
Yeah, cool.
I went from something really traumatic since I was a child. So, so has my son. So by the time that you are 11 or 12, your body is starting to say, oh. So other people has anxiety. But if you go through really big trauma when you are younger, your brain doesn't know how to handle it. So that's why it comes back to this. So if I get really bad anxiety, I get a flare-up.
Yeah, okay.
If I get depressed, I will get a flare-up. So.
And how do these flare-ups look like? So just talk to us quickly. So say you're under a lot of stress now. So what would happen?
I mean, I already got the pain, right? I've been having the pain since yesterday because I was swimming for 2 hours, but that's the only thing I can do to keep moving, right? But if I start to have a flare-up, I will start to feel the pain in my shoulders, right? And then it will start to feel really heavy. And then it will go down my arms. And then my back will feel really bad. And I will try to go up the stairs, and it will be really difficult to go up the stairs. So when I start to feel the pain in my shoulders, I just go up. And if it gets really bad, I get up tomorrow, and it will take me half an hour to come down. But I'm one of those people that I keep going, and I don't stop. I just go through the pain, and I keep going. But I have had flare-ups that have lasted 3 months.
Wow.
You cannot stop your life for 3 months. I have had flare-ups that they have put me in a wheelchair. I do have a wheelchair in the house because I have gone to that level. My house have to be changed. I have to have my bathroom changed into a shower because I was so bad I couldn't get into a bath.
Okay.
I have to have barriers all over my house. Do you know what I mean? Because when I'm good, I'm really good. But I can get to the point where I cannot move. That's what it gives you the mental health problems. Because today you are hunky-dory, and tomorrow you get up from bed, and for no reason whatsoever, you cannot move.
And it's like it's shocking because obviously I've done a little bit of research on it as well today. Obviously, knowing that you're going to talk about it, because I've heard of it because I say my mum has it. Well, no, you had it. My mum has it, but I don't talk to my mum for a long time. But it's just numbers are quite high. It's nearly like 3 million people in the UK alone, and that's just correct the stats on the internet. I'm sure it's more suffer with it, and from all different ages. I didn't realise how young you can get it, and yeah, it's
like,
and listening to you is learning.
You know all of the problems that my son has had with his headaches, yeah? That now they have become that actually it is not the fibromyalgia, right? But for a year, they have been saying, oh, it's the fibromyalgia, or it's the fibromyalgia. And they try to put him on 30 milligrams of a medication that's really, really strong for a 17-year-old, even if he's 6'3". I don't really care. He's still 17. His brain is still developing, right? And they were saying, no, it's the fibromyalgia. No, it's the fibromyalgia. Now, after he had the MRI, because thank God I know the people that I know and it's being pushed, right? No, it's not the fibromyalgia because they have found shadows in his brain.
So are you saying they use the I'm not even going to try and say the word for fibromyalgia? Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah. So they're trying to use that to cover up other stuff because they don't know what other things are.
I have gone to the hospital with an infection, right? They do a blood test. It says that I got an inflammation, right? because I got fibromyalgia. Oh no, the inflammation is from the fibromyalgia. Take your medication and go home, right? A week later, I go back to the hospital, and actually, I had a blood infection. You know, when they do the thing that you have to put it in the bottle and it comes with a color, it was black because they have put it to the fibromyalgia because it said inflammation. That's it. I have gone to the doctor before because I got part of my back paralyzed. But when I went to the doctor at the beginning, they didn't want to say nothing about it. They kept saying to me, "What's my fibromyalgia? What's my fibromyalgia?" Until actually I have a full body MRI and they found it.
Right, okay.
So if you are not a pain in the ass to the doctor, when you have this condition, anything you happen, they will put it on top of it.
Before,
or you have
obviously,
depressed because you
go on. No,
you are
go on.
depressed because you have fibromyalgia. You know what I mean? It's like, no, after all of the freaking shit I have gone in my life, I'm depressed because I'm depressed, not because I got fibromyalgia. but you know what I mean? That's part of the fibromyalgia, don't get me wrong, but they just put everything together, and it makes me wonder sometimes, you know, I mean, I'm a pain in the ass to the doctors, right? Thank God. But how many people is being misdiagnosed because they put everything, it goes to, you know what I mean?
No, I get that. I have a few questions for you regarding this, like fibromyalgia. But before I do, Lee and Kari, do you have any questions for Patricia regarding this topic?
No, I sort of get. Sorry, I think we're on a delay here. I sort of get, because like, I've got it a bit different. Obviously, with Claire having the stroke, she's in chronic pain, so it's not, I can't say the word, but it's not that. But again, it's what Patricia's saying about being able to plan your days and stuff like that, because she doesn't know when she's going to be in pain or not, or when she's going to be fatigued or not. It's very hard to plan your days. And as Patricia said, if you have a busy day, so we went to bowling last week. So we was there for 3.5, 4 hours. Claire was in bed for 2 days after that because the pain was so much because she's been out for that amount of time. And then I know Patricia's going to start talking about the mental health side of things, but as Patricia said, that what's anxiety on, like we've got Claire's dad visiting from America and he's going to be over for 2 weeks and he wants us to plan the 2 weeks. She's now anxious about if she goes out for 1 day, does that mean she's going to be in bed for 3? But she hasn't seen her dad for 6 years, you know what I mean? So it's causing a lot of anxiety even before this is happening, and it's meant to be an exciting time. So I know it's a bit different to the word I can't say, but like chronic pain and all that stuff, it does sort of take over people's lives.
No, I get that.
But
totally.
it's like you say, the mental health side of it, right? It's the anxiety of it. Because it's like when my son was little, right? I have worked full time all my life. I push myself, you know, and I keep pushing. I just live through pain. That's what I do. I just live through pain, right? Thank God I got a very high pain threshold. Otherwise, I don't know how I would have done it. But I was a single mom. I had to do it, right? But the weekends, I have to plan them. And I was thinking, oh my God, I have work all week. I have to take him out over the weekend to play football or to the park or to what have you. And then we won't be able to do nothing on Sunday because I got to rest because I have to come back to work on Monday. So if something was to happen on the Saturday out of, you know what I mean? It's almost like having OCD. You have to have everything in boxes because if something was to come out of the box, then everything is...
Yeah, I get that. Kari, is there anything you want to ask Patricia regarding this topic?
No, I was just having a look a bit about it while everyone was talking, but it says it was talking about triggers for it, and it says that fibromyalgia is often triggered by an event that causes physical stress or emotional or psychological stress. So it could be like a serious injury, a car accident, even an infection, and people that have got Epstein-Barr, I'm not even sure what that is. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. Virus or Lyme disease. Apparently, that can cause it as well. So, and also saying about the symptoms, which I think has been covered pretty much anyway. But it says moderate to severe fatigue, difficulty sleeping, joint stiffness, headaches, tingling, numbness, or burning or prickling sensation on the hands and feet. Irritable bowel, and as Patricia said as well, problems with thinking and memory. And it's hard, isn't it? Because like you say, I suppose fibromyalgia in a way could cover a whole load of things like you've been saying, isn't it? Like, so it must be difficult to try and decipher whether it is that or whether there's something else leading on to that. And as you say, maybe because fibromyalgia is very common, or it seems to be quite common now, that it's probably, like you say, the easy go-to for it. I mean, I could probably pick out a few of those things that I've got, but I haven't necessarily got fibromyalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
No, because
so,
the thing is the movement part. I mean, to do that, because there is no actual test for it, right? But there is 13 places in the body that they can press, and if they press and you jump, that's it, right? They pressed my 13 places, and I touched the ceiling almost, right? And they did the same thing with my son. And this, I mean, with me, well, I was diagnosed, 25 years ago, 26 years ago. But it's like, for example, my son, last year, he had to do all his schooling from home because he couldn't go in the bus with the other kids to go to school because they were pushing him around and whatever. The school weren't putting things in place for him in the actual school. So that mentally, for someone that is 15, 16, 14, they are already coming out of COVID. They have to go back to school. They go back to school with all of this. You know what I mean? Mentally for them, the schools are not prepared for this either, because it's like, I took them all of the letters from the consultants. I said, how can we help you? It's like, well, one day can be this, but the other day it can be that, but another day, you know what I mean? How do you explain?
Sorry, Patricia. If the thing is with that though, like obviously we've had loads of podcasts where we talk about schools and stuff, but the thing is with these so many different medical things out there now, it like I don't believe we can actually. There's not. How can I say this without sounding like an arsehole? It's so hard for teachers now or schools to adapt to every illness out there, because obviously our main concerns is obviously the disability side of autism, ASD, whatever. But then say with fibromyalgia and but no, say other things, say like cancer, yeah, as well, and sarcoidosis, which I suffer from, and all the other illnesses out there. If we start expecting all the teachers to adapt, it's just. I don't think we'll have any teachers left because they're becoming nurses then at the same time. I think it's down to wherever we are.
It's not the teachers that adapt. It's the school, right? But if a child has ME, for example, or MS, yeah, there is adaptations they can make because of the restrictive movements and everything else, right?
I get that, yeah.
They have done it in the end because my son had the pass for the to don't go up the stairs and go on the lifts. He had a laptop at home that he can connect through Teams to the school. You know what I mean? They did it in the end. So it can be done. But the stops that they put you because they don't understand the illness. So I have to actually go to school and explain to them the illness, send them the links from the hospital so they could actually understand.
No, I do get that.
You know?
I do understand that. I respect that. But I just think maybe it's down to our GPs. We can't even get a GP appointment, but that's another story. But maybe it's down to our GPs to communicate with the schools, the education system, to say, I've diagnosed this patient who is a member at your school. These are the side effects. Just pre-warning them what happens. I don't think it should be down to us because it looks like we're moaning parents and saying it's all about my child and stuff like that. But I totally respect that, Patricia. Sorry, Kari.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm sure Lee will say exactly the same as me, but I think, you know, if you was to say that the school should know everything about fibromyalgia, then it kind of means that across the board they should know about every single illness.
No.
Because
but
I
send them the stuff, they read it or whatever, and then they were like, so what do you want for us to do? And I'm like, and they have letters from the Evelina and from St. Thomas's about him. Right, and they told them that he cannot sleep at night, so it's best for him to do it at home because he can do it at 3 o'clock in the morning, for example, because if he cannot sleep through the night, then he can do it or whatever. And they were trying to put a stop to it, but then when I spoke to the local authority was like, yes, he can do it. So I'm not saying that it's all the schools. What I'm saying is that once that they know the situation, they should know the ways that they could help a child without the local authority having to go in. But I'm speaking also about my son's school, that is the worst one in the bureau.
Obviously, I don't want to change move fear from this topic, but obviously regarding school, and this is the last bit I'm going to say about school bit, because maybe it's another podcast, but I just think with what Kari and Lee's probably wanting to say is I get you, I totally respect what you're saying, but if we start around the world, if we start expecting schools to cater or have an understanding of how to deal with so many different illnesses and stuff, right this second, I just want the kids to be treated fairly. Yeah, treat fairly regardless what they've got. If we're going to go down the route of expecting them to know certain illnesses and how to treat that, we're just going to confuse something. If I get it, I do understand it, but I think it's an education, because it's with me as well. I think society, we've got to educate ourselves on certain things. I wouldn't know nothing about this topic if I didn't speak to you, Patricia. So I've learned massively. So I just think it's about having these conversations.
And it's like when people miss me, they're like, but you don't look ill. Because I'm trying not to. Because you know what I mean? I mean, you have seen me there. You have seen me days that I look like a panda, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. When I don't sleep or what have you. But it's the thing. Oh, but you don't look ill. Well, I am. What do you want for me to do about it? You know what I mean? I don't have to give explanations. Yeah? I don't look ill. I don't look ill. Some days I do. It's just I don't leave the house, so you cannot see me.
But that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to ask you. Sorry, Kari. I was going to ask you, how does society, how does it affect your mental health of people? Because this day and age, a lot of illnesses and disabilities you cannot see. You're right. And a lot of us on this screen have illnesses or trauma and stuff, and people won't know nothing until we talk about it. How do you personally cope? How does your son cope with the comments, and what tools help you get in a better frame of mind?
I will put you an example, right? A few weeks ago, I got a lanyard that is for invisible illnesses, right? And I normally have it, but that day I forgot it. And we were in the bus, and we were sitting in the disabled seats because they are wider and you're whatever, right? And we got up to leave, and this guy started to bite my head off. I mean, seriously, you don't look disabled, la, 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 la. I mean, seriously, in the middle of the bus, right? And I was like, and my son just looked at him, and he said, over to you, mom, you know? And I said to the guy, listen, just because you don't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. But if you want for me to take all my medication out of my bag, so you see what I'm on, come on, let's go. But I shouldn't have to do that.
No.
But there is a lanyard that is for invisible illnesses that is green with sunflowers. Yeah, that's the best thing ever, because when you have that on, half of the people even gets up and let you sit down, because people know about certain things already, because through COVID, all of these things came out. So, you know, so people will not be near you because your immune system is lower and all of that. But I shouldn't have to explain to anyone why I'm sitting where I'm sitting. You know what I mean?
No,
if I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there. Don't have a go at me. Do I have to go with a walking stick?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's with what you suffer with and many other things and mental health in general. I just think it's that stigma again. It's a stigma out there again, and it just needs to stop. And I believe the way it's all good of me, because I've kind of changed my point of view about this stigma stuff on topics like this. Yeah, people need to educate themselves and stop having this stigma until it happens to you, blah blah blah. But then I think it's down to people like us who are suffering or have these problems to say, you know what, I'm proud of me, and I know it's hard. I'm proud of me. I have these issues. I am going to tell the world my story. And I know people sometimes say, I get comments, you don't need to plaster your life over social media or whatever. It's my Facebook, plaster what I want. But I believe me talking now, when I'm down, posting something on Facebook, it gets someone checking in on me. It gets someone messaging me. And then the next day I feel different. So I think it's just having that balls, the bollocks, the the strength
No,
to
exactly.
to
That's
say,
what I
you know
wanted to
what,
talk.
yeah, to say,
Sorry.
you know what, this isn't me, this is what I've suffered, and this is what it is. If you don't know what about it, let me just explain to you what it's about, and then it's down to that person opposite you to understand it better, or still have that stigma. If they still have that stigma, then toddle along. They're not for you. They shouldn't be in your circle. Kari, sorry, you wanted to say something.
No, you pretty much said what I was going to say anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, I'm going to get moaned at now, Jesus. But Bernadette's put something. I don't have fibromyalgia, but I have chronic pain in my spine and body and mental health diagnosis. It's not a good recipe. My heart goes out to anyone suffering. And I think it's similar to what you said, Lee. What about your missus, isn't it?
Yeah.
She don't suffer that, but it's like chronic pain and spine in the body. Like, yeah, I think so many people in this country and the world are suffering from this. It's just funny how this is all coming out after COVID. But there's
I
another
think all
one.
the links to the mental health as well, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
trauma, as Patricia was saying as well, it can bring on illnesses like that because it's a knock-on effect. And if you haven't dealt with that trauma, then it has to come out in one way or another, or it comes out in the body. So,
and this is what I said.
Common.
This is what I said at the start of the safe space between us. Like when I first thought of the safe space between us, how many months ago, was because everyone has an illness, yeah, or people who have an illness or a disability, it leads to mental health suffering. People say it doesn't. It does. Mental health causes anxiety, depression. The stigma's there. It causes OCD. It causes PTSD. It could cause so many different things where having an illness, it could cause trauma, which gives you that PTSD or something. And it's just like people out there who haven't suffered any of this yet. And I believe the world, we're just in a queue waiting to be suffering with some kind of anxiety, depression. It's all over TVs, wherever. But I just think we just need to it needs to be a normalised conversation this day and age where like we have, like seeing Lee and Viram the other night, two men having a chat about mental health. It was lovely to watch, sit back and watch, to see two grown men talking about mental health. Every week talking to you guys, talking about mental health. And it's, again, if we look back our podcast, it's not always about mental health, but every conversation, it links to mental health, like you just said, Kari. So I totally agree with that comment, Kari. So thanks for that. I totally do. Another Facebook user has put, so related, I had a traumatic upbringing later in life, stress that resulted in me having a stroke that changed my life. I'll find, there's loads of comments. I'll find out who that was and we'll get back to it. We do. That was Gina. Gina. Yeah, Gina. Kari will give you a message and we'll have a chat about your story and see what support's out there we can pass on to you, etc. as well. But our DMs are always open anyway if you just need a chat, and we got some great tools we can pass on as well. But my heart goes to you as well. People have told me I have PTSD due to some circumstances of my husband's death. Linda, do you know what? You probably do. And that's the thing. I'm no doctor. I'm not going to diagnose you here, but things like that do cause PTSD, and do message me. I'll message you. I hope you seek GP to be referred for GP to get assessed for something, because obviously losing a loved one and your husband is a traumatic experience. And again, as you know, we are here for you as well. So much love to you as well. But I just want to say, like, these two topics, I think they've been brilliant. I think so. Thank you, Kari, for bringing up your first topic about the eating disorder and the body dysmorphia. I see. I'm not the greatest. And
we'll pick simpler
Patricia,
ones next time.
PTSD. That's good, Kieran. PTSD. And Patricia, thank you for talking about fibromyalgia and mental health. I said it my way. I'm joking. No, sorry. So thank you, because again, it took two great topics to talk about, and I think we talk about another two topics like this next time. Unfortunately, ladies and gents listening, this is the last time for about 3-4 weeks you can see all four of us together. We all have different things going on in our lives over the next 3-4 weeks, so this is the last team 14 podcasts for the next month, I'd say. But we have so many podcasts, Kari. How many podcasts? We got 2 podcasts a week coming up.
Yeah, we've got 2 a week all through August, and then we might throw a few extra ones in as well if team members if members want to come on. But we've got a lot of professionals coming on, actually, of ways of dealing with stress and different things going on. So that's going to be really exciting. And we've also got things going into September now already. So if any members do want to come on, give me a shout, send me an email. The email's in the group, and we can get you all booked in because they're going fast. So yeah.
Yeah, and like I say, and like Patricia Kari just said, we've got a lot of professionals coming on who are going to. I think a couple of them are going to do the techniques live, like breathing techniques and stuff. Yeah, so we're going to be doing some live stuff where we're going to be trying breathing techniques and some useful tools for all use, and us as well, because we still have bad days. We ain't all happy daisy, but. So hopefully, Kari's been working really hard over the past week, booking in people who are willing to do some live stuff for us. So that'd be great. And also some members. We've had one the other week, which was brilliant. And a few more want to come on. So happy to add dues on a Sunday. So the Sunday is usually a team podcast, but we're going to keep it open for podcast chat with one of us for the team members. But I do, for me, before I pass on to, before I finish, I'll pass on to Kari. Kari, any last words before you disappear? When do you disappear away? Soon?
Not this week. I mean, the week after, I've got a week.
All right, so I can harass you for another couple of days. Kari, any last words to the members and to everyone?
No, again, really good discussion today. I really enjoyed it. But again, as I say, podcasts, if any members want to come on, we're always happy to have you guys on. And I think, as Kieran said, the guy that came on the other day was great. Sean, he was brilliant, and it's just so nice to get you guys on there as well. Obviously, we're happy to talk about things and our experiences and stuff, but the real thing obviously is there for you members as well, and it's really inspiring for us as well to kind of push us forward and know that we're doing a good thing here by creating this group, etc. So yeah, just come on, just email me or send me a message or whatever, and we'll get you booked in.
Thank you. Patricia, any last words?
Thank you all very much for all your support with this, because I was as nervous as hell to speak about this. But no, thank you all for being here and being so supportive. And thank you everyone that's been listening and saying such nice things. And everybody have a nice week. And you know that we are always here to help you if you need us.
Thank you. Lee?
No, just thank you everyone. And I'm quite shocked that you said something nice about schools. That took me back a bit.
I saw your face.
But no, seriously, I just love the way the community's growing and everyone's positivity. And it's nice to see members interacting with each other and giving each other one support. So thank you to you guys as well. And I look forward to us all catching up properly in 4 weeks and enjoy whatever we're all doing and stuff like that. So thank you, everyone.
Just to let you know, Lee, don't think he's disappearing for 4 weeks. You'll see him hosting some podcast, as he hosted a brilliant podcast the other day. So he's already got some work to do. But no, I want to say I've really enjoyed this podcast. And again, thank you. I want to say thank you to these 3 guys and ladies on the screen, because they've always been supportive for me with my personal life and stuff like that. And also you members as well. Without you members, I get a buzz at talking to you, a lot of you checking with me and reading these brilliant comments and thank yous, just knowing that we're helping 1 or 2 out there. And I know we've helped many hundreds over the last four months. But we appreciate you being a part of it, and this is your safe space as well. So please do, as Kari says, if anyone wants to come on a podcast, please message. The podcast email ain't there, but please just comment or message me. It's a safe space between us. Email that one, any email. We've got 3 different emails, but email whatever, and I'll pass it over to Kari. Or just message Kari or me or anyone. But we will, over the next day or tonight and tomorrow, we will post we will spend the next 24 hours of posting emergency contact numbers, useful tools for these topics we've discussed and stuff like that. So Patricia, Kari, if we can just post some stuff, and I will get some emergency contact details regarding these topics: eating disorders and fibromyalgia, and post it on the page. Post it on the page. But on that note, oh shoot, they're taking me to my speech. Leave me alone. Let's see, I get bullied here. No, but thank you everyone. Much love. I am gonna go and watch the last bit of this Love Island. Watch a bit of Love Island. But listen, I do mean this. New members, if you ain't spoken to us before, you can DM me anytime, any day. Regardless of what's going on in my life, or if you think I'm asleep, you can message me. I normally look at my phone quite a lot over the night because I'm a night owl, and if I can message you and be in here or talk to you overnight, it's hard to get your support late at night, but there are emergency contact numbers. But we are there for the chat, and you can message me anytime. On that note, this has been a safe space between us. I've been Kieran, I've been Patricia, that's been Kari, and that has been Lee. And thank you so much for watching. Good night. We ending. I haven't ended. We're still live. Oh my god! I didn't press end. We're gonna talk.